All right, so we are doing this mimer of Roni Visimchi Bas Tsion. Let's quickly review. And I thought today maybe we'd finish it, but probably not. Now I know, of course, we're not finishing it today. So, Roni Visimchi Bas Tsion. We had like 3 questions. The first question was, we know from another mimer of the Alter Rebbe on Hanukkah, where we have the same haftarah as on Shabbos Parshas Biha'alosicha, Roni Visimchi Bas Tsion. He says, what? Why are we starting with this pasuk in that Hanukkah mimer? Because Bas Tzion refers to Golos. So Hanukkah was by the Jews in Golos, so that's why Roni V'Simchi Bas Tzion is appropriate to begin the Haftarah of Shabbos Hanukkah. Now, though, we said that sort of messes us up here, because Biha'aloscha is always after Shavuos, of course. And Shavuos, we're B'nei Chorin, we're free, we're in a very high space, so what are we doing this Bas Tzion, Jews in Golos bit? That was the first question. We connected this then as the mimer connects the pasuk Roni V'Simchi Bas Tzion to another pasuk where we have the similar term of Bas Tzion, Tzenu Ur'ena Benos Tzion, Bas Tzion, plural, Benos Tzion, Tzenu Ur'ena Benos Tzion, Melech Shlomo, Batar Shitra Lo Imo. Go out and seek daughters of Zion in the king Shlomo, Batar Shitra Lo Imo, in the crown that his mother crowns him. So that pasuk, Benos Tzion, in the mimer, Altar's mimer, connects to our pasuk, Bas Tzion, Benos Tzion, connected. And there, that's a pasuk actually talking about Matan Torah. Okay, cool, because Shabbos Parshas Biha'aloscha connects to Matan Torah. But if we look in the Midrash there, we get a little confused. Because the Midrash says there are 3 levels, so to speak, of Hashem's relationship to Klal Yisrael. He loves them so much he calls them his daughter. He loves them even more, he calls them his sister. He loves them even more, he calls them his mother. So Batar She'itra Lo Mi'imo, in the crown that his mother crowned him, is talking about by Matan Torah, when the Jews are in their like exalted space, they're the mother and they're crowning Hashem. How did we crown Hashem by Matan Torah? When we said Na'aseh V'nishma. Na'aseh V'nishma was our expression of Mesiras Nefesh, our expression of Bittul. Hashem doesn't make a difference what you're telling us to do. Na'aseh V'nishma. We are the mother crowning you. And we said, wait a minute. This pasuk, right? That's connecting to our pasuk here, Roni V'Simchi Bas Tzion. That's saying that by Matan Torah, we're the mother. So we're back to our question then. Our first question was Bas Tzion, that's Jews in Golos. After Matan Torah, we're not Golos space. Our second question is Bas Tzion, that's the daughter. By Matan Torah, we're not the daughter, we're the mother. Batar She'itra Lo Imo, in the crown that his mother crowned him. Right? Tzenu Ur'ena Benos Tzion, B'melech Shlomo, by the king Shlomo. Hashem is the ultimate king. Batar She'itra Lo Imo, the crown that his mother crowned him, that the Jews crowned Hashem, the king, by Matan Torah. So, Bas Tzion Galus, this isn't Galus. Bas Tzion, Matan Torah wasn't Bas Tzion. Matan Torah was the mother. And then the third point we brought in was this whole idea, again, of Biha'aloscha, connecting to Matan Torah, is because by Matan Torah, we are Hashem's candles, Ner Havaya Nishmas Adam. And as the Midrash says, that we illuminate to the one who illuminates the world. Well, the one who illuminates the world is Hashem. We illuminate to the one who illuminates the world means we give Hashem. We give Hashem, that's again, the mother is the giver. The daughter is the receiver. The sister is like, so to speak, lahavdil equal. And the mother is the giver. So we, Biha'aloschas haneros, when you light those candles, Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam, every one of our souls is a candle of God. We are shining our light for Hashem to illuminate for Hashem, because we're giving Hashem, because it's Matan Torah, we're the mothers. So why Roni V'Simchi Bas Tzion, the daughter? So those were the 3 aspects of the question on why Roni V'Simchi Bas Tzion, when we're doing it in Biha'aloscha, which is right after Matan Torah, and the Matan Torah energy is not Golos, like the first question, is not daughter like the second question, and is not daughter like the third question. So understand all this, we said that actually a daughter is a very high level energy. Not high level relationship, but high level energy. Why? Because we understood. It says the Bas, when we're in our daughter modality, that's us doing mitzvahs. Simple acts of mitzvahs. Then we proceed, develop, mature in our relationship, and we become the sister. That's when we learn Torah, when there's like an equality, so to speak, between us and Hashem. And then we proceed even higher to be the mother, to be the giver. That's us when we're Meiser Nefesh. Mesiras Nefesh is how we truly give to Hashem. So when I look at that 3 levels, mitzvahs, Torah, Mesiras Nefesh, obviously lowest, higher, highest. Being the daughter means the lowest. I'm doing the simple act of a mitzvah, which is less than the more spiritually sophisticated act of learning Torah, which is less than this highest ultimate act of complete hispatlos, complete nullification, complete Mesiras Nefesh for Hashem. But the Rebbe says, you could look at it that way, but obviously we're not going to look at it that way here. Another way of understanding it is, because learning Torah is a higher activity, the godliness you draw down relates to what you're doing. And even more so, Mesiras Nefesh, an even higher ultimate expression of our connection to Hashem. We're giving up ourselves for Hashem. That's something we're doing, something very spiritual, very high. So that relates to the energy drawn down. But a mitzvah is simple. It's simple. Since it's so small, there's really no relationship between the simple act I'm doing and the energy that comes down, which is a big advantage, the Rebbe says. Because since there's no relationship, that energy could be limitless. If there's a relationship, it has to work with what you're doing. But if there's no relationship, it doesn't have to work with what you're doing. It could be huge. And that's why the energy drawn down by a mitzvah is mamish from Atzmos itself, from essence of God itself, because it has no connection to what I'm doing. So it's not limited by what I'm doing. It's almost like if you were talking to someone that sort of was understanding you, you would have to make sure what you're saying makes sense within their kalim, within their limitation. If you have someone you're talking one-on-one with, or you're giving a class and you know they're present, or you're learning with them one-on-one, or they're at your table, you're going to limit your words to things that make sense to them, because it's not fair. They're here, they want to receive. So you can't talk on like these crazy high levels or only in Hebrew or Yiddish. It's not going to work. It's not fair. So you limit yourself so we could get into them, which is what you're supposed to do, because there's something that can get into them. But when you talk to someone who's so simple that it's hard to get to something that's going to get into them, like sometimes when I'm talking to my son Beryl, or if you were talking to a little child, you could talk as high as you want. You could give them everything. You could talk to the most spiritual, esoteric, high levels, because it doesn't really make a difference. And what they're going to get, because it's not in relationship to them, because in relationship to them, I wouldn't be able to do anyway. So that's sort of like, I don't know if that's a good muscle for it, but that's sort of like what we're saying here. The mitzvah has nothing to do with you. You did an act, and now there's godliness that's coming down. Like what? So since it's not relating to you, it can be limitless, and it is. And that's why Bas Tsion, Bas, representing us in our simplest level, we're just the makabel, we're just the recipient, we're not the giver at all, we're not equal at all. We're doing the simple acts of the mitzvahs. That's the highest energy that's coming out. That's the level from Atzmos itself. So that was a brief overview of what we've done so far. Continuing, the Rebbe explains that it's not only true in terms of the avoida, a mitzvah versus Torah versus Mesiras Nefesh, and the mitzvah is the simplest act, and therefore there's no relationship to the godliness that's drawing down, which therefore means it could draw down the highest godliness. It's also about the person doing that act. When a person learns Torah, or even more as Meister Nefesh, on a slight level, depending who the person is, how subtle that level will be, there's a sense of wow, the wow factor. I'm sitting and learning Torah, and Hashem is sitting and learning with me. That's what it says. Oh my, that's unbelievable. I'm the mother giving to Hashem. My Mesiras Nefesh, I can feed Hashem. I can give Hashem. I can make a difference for Hashem. It's unbelievable. It is. So a little bit of self can get interwoven in what you're doing. Some people a lot more self, some people less self, but there's some sense of self. When the Jew is doing the mitzvah, he doesn't have that wow factor. He's doing a mitzvah. He's doing a very simple act that people that know far more than him can do, and people that know far less than him can do. And, it's a very great equalizing factor. Everyone should be able to do these mitzvahs. It's simple acts with the physical dimensions of our world. So as such, when the person is doing the mitzvah, he doesn't have that sense of, this is so cool, I'm lighting Shabbos candles. Like, why can't I light Shabbos candles? This is not a big deal. Or I'm keeping kosher. Of course, the first time you do it, it is very cool and very amazing. But over time, it's a physical act. It's something that anyone can do. I said very democratic. Anyone can do it. So you're doing it from a very lack of sense of self. It's not feeding your sense of self that you can do this, because everyone can do this. And even in terms of the godliness that is responding to your act. I mean, look, Atzmos itself is coming down from your Shabbos candles and from your kosher and from your Shabbos and from your... Atzmos is coming down. Let's say the person knows this, like they're learning the mimer, or they learned it in another place and they know Atzmos is coming down. It's still a place of nullification, because it's not like I am bringing down that Atzmos. That's the whole point. Atzmos is coming down because it has nothing to do with me. If it has something to do with me, trust me, Atzmos would not be coming down. So therefore, both from what you're doing doesn't give you this whoa high. And even this enormous godliness is coming down doesn't give you this rush, because you had nothing to do with it. So you actually feel humbled if you know what's going on. It's like a humbling experience that you doing the simple act, Hashem is responding so much and like why and what, that no shaykhus, it's humbling that he's giving me himself for my little act, which is great. Because if you're humbled, then you're in a space of bittul. And if you're in a space of nullification, you're a vessel to receive the godliness that's coming down. Meaning you could have asked, but nobody did. Here's a person doing his simple act, and Hashem's sending out atzmas. You can say, well, that's amazing, but this atzmas has no relationship to this person. So Hashem's giving it, but he's not going to be receiving it. How could he receive it? He's not on level to receive it, which is true. But if he feels this bittul, if he feels this nullification of self, because who am I? What have I done to get this atzmas? That bittul itself makes him worthy, makes him a kli, makes him a vessel to receive it. Like the pasuk goes on to say, Roni, Visimchi, Tsion, ki hineni ba v'shachanti b'sochech. What's this hineni ba v'shachanti b'sochech? I'm coming. I'm going to dwell inside of you. What do you mean I'm coming? I'm going to dwell inside of you. How is Atzmas going to dwell inside this Jew who's so simple? He's only doing mitzvahs maisius. Because you feel you're simple. You feel you're low. You feel you're undeserving. And all that bittul makes you deserving for v'shachanti b'sochech, for that godliness to come inside of you. I know I went through that really fast. Any questions on anything I just said?
That was really gewaldic.
It is, isn't it? I really I feel it's so amazing, this point that we can feel. I think we all understand what the Rebbe is saying. I think we all have things we do that give us that, I'm calling it that rush, that sense of like the wow, what I did, what I accomplished. And we all have those spaces when we don't feel that rush and we don't feel so wow. We don't feel wow what I'm accomplishing. It doesn't feel so wow what I'm accomplishing. It feels very, low level. And the Rebbe, being the Rebbe, he gets to us in our low level and he says, oh, that's such an amazing space. You don't feel very good about what you're doing. You don't feel you're doing something very great. Beautiful. Well, I'm not doing anything great. Perfect. Amazing. You're not doing anything great. That's perfect, perfect, perfect. Why? Because then it's nothing about you, so Hashem can give you atzmas. Yeah, but I don't deserve it anyway. I'm like a nothing and nobody. Perfect. You're a nothing and nobody. This is even better because you feel so bittul. So all this intense atzmas that's coming down can actually go inside of you because your bittul opens you up for it.
Just turn the whole thing on its head.
Exactly. It really does. Really, it's so Rebbe. Rebbe. Yeah. And it's so good for us because obviously sometimes we feel really great and alive and excited about our Yiddishkeit, and sometimes we're like barely can talk straight. A lot of times we barely can talk straight. We're just too tired or have just too much on our plate. And if we're so drained and we just keep pushing through and we're so drained, we don't feel very good about what we're doing because we know we're not doing that much. We're just pushing through. And the Rebbe is saying, that's beautiful. That's incredible. That's amazing. You're pushing through and you're doing the very simple things that you could sort of still hold on to. Wow. Atzmas can respond because it's so nothing to do with you anyway. And you feel low about it, even better. You can open up with bittul and you can really get this atzmas. So it's like not that we're, the point of the mimer isn't to say, so don't learn Torah. You would never want to be Hashem's sister. So don't be Meister Nefesh. You would never want to be Hashem's mother. No, of course we want to progress and we want to have the Torah and we want to be the sister and we want to be the mother and we want to be Meister Nefesh and we want to be that Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam that our light illuminates for Hashem. We want all that as well. But people are complex. And we have this part of us and we have this part of us. And we could go through all of these three levels in one day. Maybe in 2 hours. So when you're in that space, recognize every space has its beauty. And there's a beauty in just doing those simple things. Of course, you could do the simple things at the same time as you're learning Torah, at the same time as you're Moshe Nefesh. It's not like it's one or the other or the other. We hopefully are doing all. But when we're doing those simple things, there's a tremendous beauty that is so simple and so small that Hashem therefore can respond with atzmas because it's nothing to do with you. And if you appreciate how small it is, that's even better. Because then you're bittul and you can actually get it in. Anyone else? Any other thoughts or questions on this?
I don't want to think too much about it. I'm going to ruin the vibe here.
Yeah, ruin the momentum. Exactly. So the Rebbe goes on to say, but wait a minute. We're saying the daughter, the Jew, in that mode of I'm just the recipient because I'm just doing the simple mitzvahs, maisias. I feel like, what am I doing? And even this great godliness coming down has nothing to do with me. So I'm so bittul, I'm so nullified, and because I'm so nullified, it's going to all come down. The mother is also completely nullified, right? So the lowest level of our three levels is the daughter, Bas. Bas is a makabel. She's a recipient. You're nullified. You are nullified. You're doing mitzvos maisius. You know they're small. You know a great godliness is coming down, which you know has nothing to do with you anyway. So you feel so nullified, and therefore you can receive it. I'm coming right inside of you. All your bittul, you can absorb this godliness that has nothing to do with you. So we're saying the Maila of the Bas, the Maila of Bas Tsion, the Maila of the daughter is her bittul. That's also the Maila of the mother. As we said probably 5 minutes ago, that the mother is Mesiras Nefesh. And what is the foundation of Mesiras Nefesh? Bittul. Just like by Matan Torah, what's the Mesiras Nefesh? I mean, no Goyim are trying to oppress us. The Mesiras Nefesh was that we said to Hashem, Nasa v'nishma. It's Mesiras Nefesh. We have no clue what we're accepting. We're in. We don't know what we're signing up for. We're in. That's Mesiras Nefesh because it's total bittul. I'm putting myself on the side. I'm not, well, give me a sneak preview, right? Like a little promo, a little like overview on what I'm signing up for. No, nothing. Nasa v'nishma. Okay, Nasa v'nishma. Bittul. And we're told that bittul was so high. Chassidus says the Jews by Matan Torah, this is a nuanced thought in Chassidus, they were not only batal to the will of Hashem, they were batal to the Baal Haratzon. It wasn't what Hashem wants. It was Hashem himself. So it's like, whoa, such a high bittul. And we're told it was a bittul of their entire existence. It wasn't just like lip bittul or brain bittul. Their whole being felt this absolute nullification. Hashem, whatever you want, that's what I want. It's you. It's about you. It's not about me. And therefore, I'm totally nullified. And whatever you can tell me I have to do, I already said yes to. That's a very, very high level bittul. So what are we saying? Oh, the Bas Tsion, the Bas is so amazing because she's a makabel and she's so batal. The mother is amazing. She's so batal. So the Rebbe says that the difference between the bit, and this might sound interesting, it's a very interesting direction the Rebbe goes here. The difference between the bittul of the mother and the bittul of the daughter is that the mother chose that bittul. The daughter chose nothing. The daughter's got nothing. It's almost like Hashem did it to us, which might seem like a disadvantage, and in a certain way is a disadvantage, but in another way is a very big advantage. Meaning, when you're the mother, that's highest level, mother, daughter, sister, mother, the highest level, we're the givers to Hashem, we're crowning Hashem. When you're the mother, you've worked on yourself to be absolutely nullified. This nullification is taking over your entire being, and it's amazing. But it's a product of you, which means there's a little subtle problem that is coming from you. But what's your choice? Sure. Not that there is a choice, not that there is a flaw. It just is the reality. The daughter, it's not coming from you. You're on the bottom of the totem pole. You haven't developed yourself to have bittul to Hashem. You know why you have bittul to Hashem? Because Hashem's giving you that too. Like it says by Yitzias Mitzrayim, Ki li b'nei Yisrael avadim, avadai heim, asher osesi asem eretz Mitzrayim. Ki li b'nei Yisrael avadim. The Yidden are my servants. Avadai heim, they're mine. Asher osesi asem eretz Mitzrayim. Because I took them out of Mitzrayim. What is Hashem saying? Hashem is saying, this is a compelled bittul. This is a compelled Kabbalas Ol. This isn't that you spiritually rose to the level of bittul and Kabbalas Ol. You're a Bas. Like we say about Malchus, Lesle Migarmu Klum, you got nothing. You're total Mikabel. So even your bittul and your Kabbalas Ol, I'm giving you. I'm like forcing the issue. I took you out of Egypt. I made you who you are. I'm giving you that bittul and that Kabbalas Ol. So you could say, so it shouldn't be as great because it didn't come from our work. That's another perspective. And that's the advantage of the mother. But in this mimer, we're focusing on the daughter. And the advantage of Hashem giving it means, even though it's not the high level bittul of the mother, but it's just absolute batal. Because you didn't even choose to be batal. Hashem gave it to you. So the intensity of that Kabbalas Ol is so strong, it's so limitless, because it comes from Hashem himself. I know we're going over time. I'm just going to end on this point, this 1 point, continue this, and then we'll stop. Then we have one more idea to the minor that we'll do next week. The Rebbe says, if you remember the beginning of the minor, we said Bas Tsion. The Alter Rebbe says Bas Tsion are the Yidden in Galus. And then Bas, the daughter, and Bas, the mitzvahs, and everything else we've been discussing this whole mimer. And we said, what do you mean the Yidden in Galus? This is Matan Torah. There's no Galus reality here. the Rebbe says this concept of being a bas, this concept of being so simple, that it's all coming from him. It's not coming from you. You're not creating your bittul. You're not creating your Kabbalah soul. You're not creating the response Hashem's giving you. It's all from him, is the strength that the Jews have had that enabled us to withstand Golus, Bas Tsion, the Yidden Golus. Meaning, when does our bittul and Mesiras Nefesh shine? When we're in Golus. The Jews were in the Midbar for 40 years. They didn't need Mesiras Nefesh. Basically, it's they're living in the clouds and the mun and the bear and learning Torah and like Dardeya, right? That's what we say, the advantage of like Purim. We finally got Matan Torah for real, because then we need a Mesiras Nefesh for real. When you're in an idyllic situation, like the Jews in the base during the time of the Beis Hamikdash and Eretz Yisrael, they didn't need a lot of Mesiras Nefesh. They didn't have the platform for it. When we're in Golus, we have a lot of that platform. And the Golus has been getting more intense and more intense and more intense. And the Rebbe says Golus is so intense that there's no way we can handle it. There's no way we can overcome it. It is beyond human capacity. Like sometimes you feel that. Sometimes you feel, Hashem, this is beyond. The Alter Rebbe knows this, and the Rebbe is saying it here in this mimer. The Rebbe is saying the Golus is too much for a human to handle. Too much. You can't keep crushing us, so we can keep being resilient and holding on to you and believing in you. It's too much. So how have we handled it? The Rebbe said we've handled it because our bittul isn't coming from us, so it's not limited to us. We're the bas. We're the mekabel. Even our bittul and our Kabbalah soul came from Hashem. So now obviously we know we need to work. We know that. But the core that we're drawing on isn't us power. It's Hashem power. And Hashem is limitless. So my kaichas cannot stay the Golus. My kaichas cannot overcome the Golus. My kaichas cannot handle the Golus. But Hashem is limitless. Hashem can do anything. Hashem can also handle Golus. So when my bittul and Mesiras Nefesh and Kabbalah's ol is not from me, I didn't sophisticatedly, nothing. I'm a nothing. I'm a boss. I'm a makabel. You gave it to me. So when Hashem gives it to us, when we're in that mode of our relationship of being the boss, and Hashem's giving us the bittul and Kabbalah's ol that we have to work through once we have it, and I pull on that bittul and Kabbalah's ol, I can handle Golus. Because I can't handle Golus. But Hashem's limitless. Hashem's so limitless, he can handle Golus. So the tremendous advantage that our powers go back to him is that our powers are not limited to us. And because they're not limited to us, Bas Tsion. In Golus, the Jew can be shining. In Golus, and we all know too many stories of examples of this concept. In Golus, the Jews' belief and connection and Ibergegebenkeit, self-sacrifice for Hashem is, I always think, Hashem, you're so lucky because we're so crazy. We've been through so much and we just love you. We just stick with you. Of course, we've probably also given you a run for the money the other way, but being Malam is a chus for Klal Yisrael, we're amazing. Look what we've gone through, and we still believe, and we still trust, and we still do. How, the Rebbe is saying? Because that core energy isn't coming from you. You're Bas Tsion. It's coming from Hashem, and when you pull on it, you have to pull on it. But when you pull on it, it's limitless. We have limitless kayach to overcome the Golus. So we will end at this point. Thank you for giving permission to go over a bit, considering what happened. And we should take kayach from the Maimer. I thought there were so many amazing, amazing themes here that are so relevant, I think, to everyone. We all are having the Golus we're dealing with, so relevant to all of us. And we should utilize this kayach of Chassidus and pull on that strength and know, like the Rebbe says, we're limitless. It's all from Hashem. So when we pull, our kayachas are limitless. Thank you so much.